Let's ask ourselves the question, how does a routing table get built? How does a router know the routing table? We've seen in earlier videos that the routes in a routing table may not even be local ones. They may be on a router that's nearby, maybe even 2, 3, 4 hops away or more. Well, there are 3 different ways that a route can get put into a routing table. And this letter that you see over here on the left is the key to how it was put in there. This S means that it's a static route. And what that means is that an administrator actually manually typed in this route. So an administrator in this case said, I want the gateway of last resort to be this route. The C and the L both stand in this case for directly connected. This is the second way that a router can know what's in the routing table. It actually populates the routing table based on the networks that are directly connected to that router. Now in this particular router, it looks like I've got one interface here at 172.16.1.1, an interface here 209.165.200.225, and an interface here 209.165.200.233. So I've got at least 3 interfaces on this router. Now why is there both a C and an L? The L is a fairly recent new thing in Cisco routers. Previously you only had a C, which means, hey, this network here is directly connected to this router. In other words, it's on one of the ports physically on this router. The L, the new thing here, is that this is the actual address of that port on the router. It's not the network address, it's the actual IP address of that port on the router. That way, if I want to, say, ping or get a hold of a port itself, communicate with a port, it has a route for that, and it makes it a little quicker to route it. So you'll always see a C and an L together, but in both cases, it means that this is a network that is directly connected to the router, and thus it automatically populates in the routing table for that router. The R that you see here is a routing protocol. This is a protocol that you would program into a router to discover other routes. And those routes may be on the same router. They may be on well, they wouldn't be the same router. It would be directly connected. It may be on one router away, 2 routers away, 3 routers away. In the case of the R, it would be up to 15 routers away that thing could be there. And so this is an automated discovery protocol. We call that a routing protocol. And there are several. R stands for RIP, or Routing Information Protocol. There are some others, IGRP, EIGRP, OSPF, ISIS, BGP, and so on. There are lots of these routing protocols, and they're all suitable for different uses. In the case of RIP, this is suitable for a local network, maybe a small network. It's fairly uncomplicated to configure, but you couldn't use it, say, for internet routing because it's not capable of going out beyond a local network. So this is a routing protocol. So the 3 ways: static routes, directly connected routes, and then routes learned by a routing protocol.